Jeremy Vine Show, BBC Radio 2. Here we go. People are comparing Trump's sacking of the FBI chief to Watergate. But what exactly happened in Watergate and how accurate is the comparison? We'll discuss that with James Nazi. An 11-year-old girl dies on a water ride in Staffordshire. How could this happen? Do you fear theme park rides now? Remember Kenneth Baker, one of Mrs. Thatcher's favourite ministers, maybe a voice from the past, but he's giving us a warning from the future about robots. And are there really boy jobs and girl jobs in your house? Theresa May and her husband Philip say there are. The bins is one.
88 to 91 FM, BBC Radio 2.
Before we talk about that, let's discuss robots and whether actually we're all becoming obsolete. The digital age has brought great advances in artificial intelligence, and we're not exactly living the futuristic lifestyles imagined by sci-fi writers in the 60s. There are no flying cars, we're not wearing silver pneumatic trousers or eating full meals in pill form. But subtly, behind the scenes, under the bonnet, things are changing. There are 3D printers that can make almost anything to driverless cars, and it may well be that soon robots steal your job. Now, Lord Kenneth Baker, who ran the education department under Margaret Thatcher, believes we are on the cusp of a new era not seen since the Industrial Revolution. Technology, as it moves forwards, will destroy jobs, he says. Could be disastrous unless we're prepared, unless we change the way we educate our children. So is this all a little far-fetched? After all, the same accusations were made in the Industrial Revolution, and yet new factory jobs were created to help replace the old manual ones. Won't we still need humans to build and design and keep tabs on, for example, these driverless cars? We welcome Kenneth Baker. Good to see
Hello,
you.
nice to see you again, Jeremy.
And here you are warning about the future.
Yeah. The digital revolution is going to be different from the other revolutions. I made lots of speeches when you last interviewed me in the 1980s saying that embrace technology, it'll create more jobs. It's always done that, but I think this one is quite unique because digital affects everybody in the world, every house in the world, and every industry. And you can see, for example, take driverless lorries. Mercedes is experimenting with driverless lorries in America. There are 3 million truck drivers in America, another 8 million doing sandwich bars and stopovers. Most of those jobs will disappear within 5 years.
You really think
and
that
these
we'll
are
get...
unskilled jobs.
Sure.
Well, take Amazon. When you order something from Amazon, the only time that a human hand will have touched that was someone knocks on your door and says, "I've got a delivery from Amazon."
Yeah.
But that'll soon be replaced by drone delivery. You know, it's all pervasive. This is happening at such a rapid rate. And youngsters now, as young as the people in the studio with me, a 15-year-old boy and a 16-year-old girl, they're programmers.
Yeah,
Now,
and they bought a robot, and we're going to see it shortly. But
and actually, earlier, none of your staff here in the technologies could actually do what they're doing, quite frankly.
Well, I
so
suppose
therefore,
we should be pleased about that.
So I believe you have to change the education system.
Right.
You'll have more technical schools. So for 10 years, I've been promoting these. They're called university technical colleges. These guys, these two come from one in just opposite the city airport. And they're actually the only college in the country learning to do virtual reality with helmets on their head and design virtual reality. And they'll tell you what they do with this robot as well. Now, these are the jobs of the future. There's no question about that. And so we have to change our education system. UTC start at 14 to 18. They work a long day, 8:30 to 5. We've got 5 more opening. There's 44, 5 more opening this September. 2 in London. There's going to be one at Westminster near Victoria Station and one in Mulberry in the East End Tower Hamlets doing creative arts. And so these are very popular. There's no question about that. We must have more of them.
Are we not misunderstanding it? The digital is going to be a tool. It's not going to be our master. And as a tool, it'll just help us do whatever we already do.
Yes, we've got to try and master them. Already, a computer will always win at chess. It'll always win at Go. It will also always win at poker. It can win. So
That's
computer,
true. Can't write a novel, though.
Well, not as yet, but eventually it'll be able to do that.
Right, really?
Because artificial intelligence, big data, allows it to do it.
Okay.
It's going to have huge implications in the health service. You'll be able to diagnose your own problems from the big data that's available in the health service within a few years. That'll happen very quickly.
Right.
And it's going to affect absolutely every activity in the country.
Is it going to replace radio presenters? I'm asking for a friend.
No, you're going to be the one that survives. But all these technology people behind you, you've probably got about 12 to 15 technology people. Make sure you're heard all over the country for a start.
Yeah.
A lot of that can be done by robots in the future.
Okay.
And
Well,
you see, and it's not only the unskilled are going to go. When you read like Deutsche Bank are going to sack 30,000 people, they're not sacking bank clerks. They're sacking middle managers. because big data and artificial intelligence are taking over those jobs in a very, very big way.
I feel like I want to object, but I'm not sure how to object because I don't know what's going to happen. Driverless cars is a great example where we keep being told it's coming, and then one crashes, and then they say, well, they're never going to be safe. No, we're never going to trust, for example, Kenneth, a plane without a pilot. We're really not. Are we? Would you get in one?
We have trains without drivers now. We do have trains without drivers.
But look at the trouble that's caused.
And Uber has already got driverless taxis experimenting with in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
Uber. So
but they don't fly.
All these part-time jobs. You see, in the future there'll be a lot of part-time jobs and self-employed jobs. That sounds tremendous, but they're not usually very well paid. It's not like being somebody getting sick pay and pension and all the rest of it and a steady career.
Yeah.
And so what we've got to do, when youngsters leave, like these two youngsters in the studio at 18, they've got to have skills. They've got to have worked in teams, which you don't do in a normal school. They've got to do problem solving, not done in a normal school. Got to make things with their hands and design things, which they do. And so in our colleges, for 2 days a week, the youngsters are making and designing things.
Okay. Well, so yeah, you'll still have carpenters. Well, welcome to you two. You've been very quiet so far because we're listening to Kenneth, but tell us your names, introduce yourselves if you don't mind.
Hi, so my name's Kearney Sullivan. I'm a 16-year-old and I'm in Year 12 at London Design and Engineering, UTC.
And?
My name is Theodor Vasiloiu. I'm a Year 10 student at LDE UTC as well. So.
Okay, so you brought, and of course there's a third person with you. I'm not talking about Kenneth Baker, but it is a robot. Does the robot have a name?
Well, this one's called Micheal.
Micheal the robot. So the Micheal the robot is on the desk. I feel like I need to film this while you do it. You're going to demonstrate this robot to me. We had a robot in about 2 years ago, and it didn't even switch on. So this is a big. Don't worry, but that was obviously set the standard quite low.
Progress.
Exactly. We may see some progress. So, all right, then let's see what the robot can do. Just tell us what you're doing with it.
So, brief introduction. This is a NAO robot. So he's a humanoid robot, and we program him at our school to perform tasks. And I'm going to show him. He's going to ask you a few questions.
Okay, he's about 2.5 feet high. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, so we're going to start him up.
Okay, you've tapped on a laptop there to start him, and you
Hello, my
And
name
you
is
literally
Nao.
just tap on
I
the head
come
to
from the
start them.
London Design and Engineering UTC.
Hello
I
there.
help students learn robotics and programming along with my newer sibling, Pepper the Robot. We cover the need for robots in our curriculum.
Okay.
We help prepare students for the robotics industry that will be waiting for them after LDE UTC. I am so excited to be on BBC Radio 2.
All right.
Hello, my name is Nao. I come from the London Design and Engineering
So you
UTC.
started again.
Yeah, he's doing the rounds.
Not a good listener, really. But is he going to ask me a question?
Yes,
or?
he will right now. He'll ask you a
Okay,
question.
here we go. It's already beaten the last robot we had in.
So with these NAO robots, they're fairly easy to program, especially with the software that we have at the moment. And these softwares will hopefully be used in more and more colleges as we wish.
Can you
because
tell them what you did with them when you took them to...
with these NAO robots, I was lucky enough to take them to Switzerland to ski. So we programmed them to ski, and we also made the skis and the foot holders for the skis.
This robot was skiing, was it?
Yeah, we used 3D printers to design our own skis and make the foot holders, and it went higher up than I did, I can say myself.
Well, he's not worried about a knee injury.
No.
What now?
You ready?
I'm ready.
He's going to ask you a few
I
questions.
thought we were going to get into a bit of an exchange.
Yeah, well, I think he's looking for a job, so he'll...
All right, don't worry. We're a little bit stressed here. It's moving its arms. It's looking a bit cross.
Yeah.
It's frowning.
It's heard what you've been saying.
I think he's gone a bit shy now.
Okay,
We had
well,
him speaking in Spanish earlier.
we had this effect on the last one.
Yeah, so...
It's moving its hips. Is there some sort of Strictly dimension here?
I think he's a bit
Wants to dance.
starstruck.
So he's asking you now, what's your name? So if you reply, he will start talking.
My name is Jeremy.
Say Jeremy.
Nice to meet you, Jeremy. It is a pleasure. How are you today?
I'm really good, actually. Yeah, it's a nice day. What's your favourite film? What's your
Say good.
favourite? Sorry?
Say good.
Just say good.
Good. I'm
That's good. I am feeling very excited. I've never been on a radio show before. Maybe there's a job in it for me. What do you think, Jeremy?
Listen, no swearing, okay? I think you could have a job here one day. Well, no,
That's
actually,
good.
I don't.
I am feeling very excited. I've never been on a radio show before. Maybe there's a job in it for me. What do you think, Jeremy?
Oh, okay, said the same thing again. All right, now listen, you need to not repeat things, otherwise you won't be able to work here. Yes!
He's nodding.
Nodding. All right. Well, we got the motion. Kenneth, here's the thing. That is, I know in 5 years' time that it's going to be better, but it's not really at the races at the moment, is it? As something to replace our brilliant Joe out there who does the studio. No competition at the moment.
No, but this will improve rapidly, much more rapidly than you think, because people all over the world are working on the software all the time. Here's a young boy of 15 who's doing this programming. You know, this is exceptional in any school, quite frankly, to make this work.
And I credit you not knocking your programming.
It will come. And look, our cars are made largely by robots already. When you see industry adopting them in the way that they do, there'll be a lot. But the big area is going to be in inventing new programs and new apps and new everything like that. Services will be using them very quickly. And the point I'm getting at is you've got to give our youngsters better skills to cope with this.
Well, let me ask them, because do you feel satisfied by the work you're doing in robotics and so on? You happy with that?
I mean, for me, definitely. I mean, we do something, so it's a BTEC, which is a technical qualification, and we do a creative iMedia, and it's where we learn to study all of these VR things. We learn to study about robots and everything. I think it's all preparing us for, I mean, where we're going to be in 5 years, 10 years, and the world is going to be a completely different place when we have all of these technologies. Like Lord Baker was saying.
Are you happy to do your work in, looking at a computer screen? Is that just how you see the future then, Kearney?
I think we've started off, I mean, our generation started off quite heavily with technology and computers. So it's all about advancing that and getting to grips with everything. And our lesson isn't always to do with computers. It's about how we think and logical movements as well.
So AI is the thing that Kenneth is talking about. Do you think we'll get there where actually the robot comes in and it can tell me its favourite film?
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
Really?
this is just basic
I
programming
know.
already.
I know.
And
can do
with
it
more
now.
time, if you put more programming into it, you could have a full-on conversation with the
You
robot.
won't even need the computer. I mean, it can literally just stand at your front door when you come home. It can ask you how you're feeling today. That's what is older sibling Pepper, which is the tall one, like literally a metre and a half tall. And they can read emotions. They can recognise faces.
Really? So it could tell whether I was cross or happy
Yeah.
or...
So it can tell you
can
your
play
age as well.
poker. Some of it have all been designed to play poker and win. So
Right.
that means they've got to be able to detect deceit and also engage in deceit.
Do you not, Kenneth, as somebody who's had a good long career in public life, think this new world is not for me? I just don't like it.
I'm trying to make it possible for people.
Well, you've always been into your technology,
I want
haven't
these
you?
youngsters to leave school at 18 with skills where they'll be able to link to some income stream for themselves. And it may be as personal advisors, consultants, or it may be working part-time, but they will have skills. These youngsters will not starve or be out of work.
That is true.
We have the best record of employability of the UTCs across the country. We had 1,300 leavers last year, and only 5 become unemployed.
Thank you
No
very
other
much.
schools can match that.
Thank you so much. Kenneth Baker, former Education Secretary to Margaret Thatcher, now chairman of the Edge Foundation, which is a charity that champions technical, practical and professional learning. And Michael and Kearney, thank you so much for showing us the robot as well. Great to see you.
Okay, thank you.
In the times too far to view, in the places